Hello and welcome to today's Reteach session. Today you will be given an opportunity to go over some videos in chapter 6 and then take the retake assessment in order to boost up your grades. In this chapter, we learn about percent, and percent is similar to fraction because it is something that you can use to express a part of a whole. So let's say we are comparing one quantity to 100. We can use percent written out as this symbol, which means out of 100. Now, for example, if I have 45 students out of 100 who pass the test, I can write it out as a fraction. So 45 out of 100 students pass the test. I can also write it out as a ratio. So 45%, 45 to 100. So out of the total 100 students that I have, 45 pass the test, and I can also write it out as a percent. These three numbers means the same thing. It means that if I have 100 students, then 45 students pass the test. Or if we are talking about the discount from the whole price, if the price is $100, that means 45% or $45 has been taken away. So when we are writing percent, it means that we are comparing numbers to 100. Now we can express percent as a fraction and decimal. To express 80% as a fraction in the simplest form, simply because percent means out of 100, so we can just write 80 over 100. Now this is 80% as a fraction, but it's not yet in the simplest form. To turn 80% out of 100 into the simplest form, we have to divide these two numbers by the greatest common factor. In this case, the greatest common factor is 20. So I can divide 80 by 20, which gives me 4. And then I can divide 100 by 20, which gives me 5. So now that I have divided both numerator and denominator by the greatest common factor, this 4/5 is my simplest form of 80%. I can do something similar to 95%, and to write it as a decimal, I can turn my percent into fraction first. So 95% is 95 out of 100. As a decimal, since there are two zeros, that means my decimal will have two places to go to the hundreds place. So I'm just going to write the number 95 and then put the 0 as a placeholder. So 95% as a decimal is 0.95 or 95 hundredths. Now 100% is usually equivalent to one whole. 100% is equivalent to one whole. Therefore, if the number is less than 100%, usually your decimal will be less than 1 as well. So just to make sure that you understood this lesson, go ahead and complete these two questions in the next assignment.